Hello everyone, welcome to IANS and congratulations for the second season of Rana Naidu that's about to come.
Thank you.
My first question is to all three of you. A little more than 2 years since the first season. Why so much of wait?
Oh, I was going to.
I thought it was.
I thought it was sooner.
pretty quick. Oh, sorry, that's how it is.
Listen, okay, yes, I can understand from the perspective of the fans, but I like really from the process of just, thinking of it, making it, before writing it, and then just like really putting it out there to be higher than the first season. We need that much time. We want to bring the best. But yes, I take your point. I think the endeavor is to come sooner and sooner, but this person here is responsible.
Karan?
Yeah, no, it's it takes 3-4 months to write, 6 to 8 months to shoot, and then another 8 months of post-production. So just add that up. If you're not doing anything else at all and going at it relentlessly every day, then that's the time frame it takes to put something as sprawling as Rana Naidu. Of course, there's more contained shows and series and things that
Yeah, that's true.
which are not so ambitious and not working with so many talented
Stellar
people.
cast, yeah.
Who have so many dates to give out to people. So all these,
Everyone's helping everyone.
juggling these things, and so passing the baton on to Rana.
So yeah, before you ask the question, I thought we were really quick coming up with part 2. So
Okay. Now tell me, what's the fun part of playing the lead character, the title character?
fun part of it.
Yeah.
Rana Naidu and fun don't actually go together in some ways. It's
No, the process, the creative process.
well, I think it's a character that's extremely deep. There's so much of trauma that isn't spoken about, and I think that's a very classic thing with Indian males in that sense, who are like heads of families, or there's a certain overburden of a responsibility which is never spoken about. And I think this family of the Naidus encapsulates all that. Whether it's the father and son that have an issue, whether it's the husband and wife that have issues, whether it's the siblings that have issues with one another. I think they all come from a traumatic past in some manner, which they're all trying to address and move forward. I think that to me was the most unique part of being part of the show. And what was fun in season 2 was, first, we were one dysfunctional family, now there's 2. There's the Oberois that came in. You thought the Naidus were bad, these are worse. So, the rich people with bigger problems. So I think it was...
Rich people are the same problem.
Same problem. So it's magnified in a very strange other way, right? Legacy and all that. And this character of Naga that keeps meddling between this family and that and kind of going vice versa. I think that was fun this time.
Okay. And Karan, taking from what Tanya said, that you have to really make sure that it really serves up to the expectation of the audience. When you have something like a legacy title like this, when do you know where to stop? Like what's that seal of approval कि हाँ बस इससे आगे तो best नहीं हो सकता?
There is ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है. You have to abandon it, right? So you say that about any kind of process during filmmaking. You abandon the writing. You don't really. You can't keep finessing it, because film is one of those things where you can keep editing it and it'll keep getting incrementally better, like 0.2% better or something. But so you have to, like, Tanya just tells me to stop. Is what happens basically.
We have a launch date.
Yeah, so there's a launch date, and you have to just send the episodes in. So,
Okay.
but obviously, like this is great. Like, you could, with the kind of talent we have on this show, you could just take it anywhere.
Okay. And Tanya, Netflix has promised some really great things this year. I recently saw Mizagan, again, Netflix licensed content. Tell me, what's the thought process like in terms of both the commission content like Rana Naidu or something like a licensed content that's there in the market already?
I think at the heart of it, I always say that we'd love for our members and our audiences to really have a Netflix night every night. But can you watch the same thing every day? And we recognize that, variety is really at the heart of how we all think, behave, choose. So one night you can watch Rana Naidu, but after that you may want to watch a comedy show like Mamla Legal Hai. Like right now I'm watching Hit, the third case. That's a really cool movie. So I think it also it's about the variety. It's about your mood. It's really about being inclusive. You know, I really would, whether it's about a genre, a type of grammar that you make with, or a type of filmmaking style. I think we want to be inclusive and not really exclusive. So therefore we have, you know, comedies and dramas and action shows. We have original films. We have licensed films. We've also recently sort of set up the South slate as well. We had Test, which was our first South original. We have a bunch of, you know, titles under development and production, which are Telugu and Tamil series as well. So really it's about growing with India and, you know, really taking Indian content to the world.
Okay. And building further on that, you know, the Netflix slate is very enormous. As an organization, you are constantly chasing excellence in terms of, you know, giving better content to audience every month, every week, every year. How can one maintain the objectivity and not let even the, you know, something which is very obscure in terms of, you know, the distribution, not let that slip away?
I think it's a chicken and egg situation, right? It's how the content takes you forward and how you want to keep going forward. So it's really about recognizing who the audience is and being audience first, and that actually is the pillar of our strategy. The foundational sort of stone of our strategy is the audience first thinking. As you know, we really welcome various styles and you know, genres of storytelling, but if we only think from the perspective of the story, I think we'll be looking at half the story. The people who complete the story is the audience, and it is about how we are growing in the country. And touch wood, you know, the audience has been very kind. People are loving the stories that we are telling and the variety that we are bringing to them, whether it's from our own content in India, or it is, you know, whether it's Korean content or our international content from the US, UK, etc. People are really enjoying that. So the endeavors to actually keep diversifying, keep growing and doing really exciting things, breaking some boundaries, trying new things. Now it sounds like a whole lot of generalizations, so I'll stop.
Okay. And Rana, taking that further, the diversification bit, I have observed one thing, that you are always at the forefront when it comes to presenting different kinds of cinema to different audience in the country, outside of the country as well. All we imagine as light piles, we last spoke during the interview. I want to know what goes in the mind of a thought leader like you to kind of identify the content and then build everything around it to take it to the world.
Like, see, to add to what Tanya said in some manner, I think as Indians, it's unity in diversity, right? It's just pretty diverse the way the country is. And I was fortunate enough to grow up in different places. I was born in Chennai, grew up there for some time, moved to Hyderabad, then started working in Bombay. So I got to see so much different culture, and I think cinema, the arts and entertainment is the most diversified group that you can get in any working environment, because there's no set structure to anyone. You can come from any background, and the further or the crazier your background is, the better story sometimes you're able to tell. And I think, and though with all of this journey, I still feel like my knowledge of India is still limited. The understanding of relationships are limited. And I think I've learned stuff through cinema. Whatever I know in my life today, I mean, I was a terrible guy at school. I just didn't study nothing. I just read comic books and watched movies and some TV shows. So I think that is the largest education that one can have, where you need to know yourself, you need to know who you are and where you come from. And I think cinema and arts is the only thing that tells you that. And most times the business of it kind of pigeons you into a place where, okay, this is working, let's just do these things again and again. But as an audience, that's not what you want. You want to see different things every time you go. So for me, my job is, okay, if there is some story that's not being heard enough, can I find a mainstream distribution way to make sure that receives that audience? So that's pretty much where it is.
Okay. And in a creative process, obsession is of prime importance. That's how I understand it. Because you get an idea, you start working around it, and then you start getting obsessed with it. You know, day and night, every moment of the day you're thinking about it, that I'll play this character in this particular way, I'll pitch it in a certain way. While playing Rana Naidu, how did you deal with that obsession, and how did you make the best of that obsession?
One, I think from the first time I started working on this about a couple of years ago when season 1 started, I think it was a dark version of my life. I come from a big joint family, but we're all a very happy and fun-loving family. Here it's a big joint family that's the most disjointed that you can find. I think strangely, if you're an entrepreneur in the media world, you have to keep constantly fixing things. I'm sure Tanya will agree with that.
Yes.
Because like every time the challenge is different, it's new, it's not something that you've seen before. And I feel like that's what this show was. There was a large part of life that was going on. And unlike a feature film, this was my first show when I came to it. It's not a set path. It's not like few obstacles you cross and the film is done. It's like you're living with these people in some manner. It's almost like life, right? Like you might like this person for some time, something that he does, you don't like him. So there's a larger kind of relationship that you have with people. So I think so it was more life than performance in some ways.
Okay. And Karan, you are born and raised in Bombay, and you speak Telugu fairly as well, or?
No, I don't speak Telugu.
So how does it work on the set? Like how do you gauge the moment of the truth of the moment?
So there isn't much Telugu, but there are some very interesting moments with Telugu that we have had. Like we had this scene we were shooting, and it was a face-off between Naga and Rana. Okay, so Venki sir and Rana are in the scene. It's a pretty tight close, and they come in close, and their volume is increasing. You know, with every line, they sort of, and it's all in Hindi. But you know, so that one freedom, like I always tell my actors, absolutely feel free to improvise. If you feel like in the moment there's something more you want to say, or you want to move around, or whatever it is. And once in a while, what they do is they break into Telugu, right? So, and it's always about, let's not do anything that is crucial to the story in Telugu, but more what is the mood and what is it that you want to say, and it comes naturally to them in any case. So I'm always trying to push them into like go with the flow and just carry forward in Telugu if you have to. And so that was happening in this really intense scene. Okay, and then suddenly, you know, it's simmering, and then they break into Telugu. I'm like, okay, the magic has started. They're in character. Something is going on over here. And I'm going, you know, it's 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, the Telugu is going on. And then I hear the word biryani. So I was like, one sec, cut. So basically I was like, yeah, did you have lunch? I've got some great lunch. Some biryani.
So I didn't call for cut. I was like, okay, well, let's just be in the mood and say whatever is going on. It's going to be lunch break anyways. I think I had lunch. Yeah, you had this. Okay. So we're in that same mood, but saying lines.
Okay, and for my last question, Tanya, I've been meaning to ask this since so long. Guns and Gulabs second season, when we will get to see, and also if there's any possibility for Mindhunter new season coming up.
You always ask me this. You know, I would say I don't know if we necessarily need to do Mindhunter. That's a very US driven thing, but whether it is Kora or whether it is Black Warrant, it sort of gives you that kind of payoff of understanding the criminal system, the justice system, the criminals, all of that a little better. And Guns and Gulabs, we've got Raj and DK really, really busy with Rakt Brahmand right now. So I think they'll get to it as soon as they can. It's one of my favorite shows as well. So trust me, I'm always on their tail for this.
Okay, perfect. So with that, we have reached the end of this conversation. If there's anything that I may have missed asking or something that you would have loved to talk about, so please feel free.
I'd call out Arjun. I think Arjun's addition to the cast this season is actually really, really dynamic. And I think the chemistry between Rauf and Rana is something to watch out for. I'm personally very excited about that.
Okay, perfect. And Rana, any closing
Who was
words?
it? It's out June 13th, you tell me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. So on that note, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for the second season.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Akshay.